Hello everyone, this is Raja Ramesh and welcome back to TypeScript and Playwright Journey. In the previous video, we have covered data types in TypeScript. In this video, we will see arrays in TypeScript. These are commonly used data structures in any programming to store more than one value under a given name. Before diving into array, let us assume a situation where we have multiple values that are related. For example, in the previous video we discussed about marks of a student. Student might have marks from different subjects and those have different values. So instead of taking different variables to save different values, we used an array marks and save different marks in that array. We'll try to understand this. We have marks in subject 1 and similarly marks in subject 2 and marks in subject 3. And marks in subject 1 is 70, subject 2 is 80 and subject 3 is 60. In this case, we use three different variables and it will be little difficult to remember this and difficult for maintenance as well. Instead of this, we will create an array and name that as marks and assume it will be something like this. So this is the marks and the values are stored like this 70, 80, 60. And to represent each value in this array, a concept called index is used, which starts from 0. So this is the 0th position in that array and it is called 0th index, and this is called index 1 and index 2, or you can say like this is 0th position and this is position 1 and this is in second position. So marks is name of the array and 0, 1, 2 are indices in that array, 70, 80 and 60 are values in that array. Let us declare an array in TypeScript. Open Visual Studio Code and create a new file. Name that as arrays.ts. So now we are in our arrays file. Remember the syntax to create an array in TypeScript. It is something like this. Let name of the array colon data type followed by square brackets, which tells that this is an array, equals to list of values in square brackets v1, v2, v3. Remember that v1, v2, v3 are of given data type. Now let us create marks array. Let marks colon, we are going to save numbers. It is an array equals to the values in square brackets that are separated by comma 70, 60, 80. So now the name of the array is marks and the data type which it stores is number, and it is an array. It has three values and the value at 0th position is 70. The value at first position is 60. The value at second position is 80. So we have total 3 indices 0, 1, 2. Now we will see how to access the elements inside an array using index. Here the values inside the array are called elements of the array. We have 3 indices and I want to print 60, and we know the index starts from 0. So 0 and 1. So first index of marks has the value 60, marks of 1, and just log this to the console. Console.log marks of 1. By running the tsnode command, you see 60 is printed to the console. Marks of 1, which has 60. Similarly, if I want to replace some value in a given index, we can reassign some value at that index, like marks of 1 equals to 90. And now just copy paste the same line and try to print the value which is present in the index 1. If you run the code again, you see in the first line 60 is printed, which is from line number 6, and in line number 8 we updated the value to 90, and when we print this again it printed 90. So using index, this is how we will change the value in the array. Now we have total 3 values inside this array. We will try to add a new value at the end by giving marks of 4 equals to 40. With this line, a new value will be added to the array at the end. You can say at the given index. I will comment this line and this line so that the output will be clear. Now if we try to print the value at index 4 and run the code, we see 40 is printed, which is actually saved at the index 4. So this is how we can access elements inside an array with the help of index. Now we will see two concepts called push and pop. Push is used in TypeScript on arrays to add a new value at the end. So if we write marks.push method and in this value is some 10, we will see what happens. And don't worry, we will learn about methods in further videos. We will try to print the value at index 5 because we know there are 4 values earlier. See, the value printed is 10, which is added at the end because of push. And if we try to use pop, marks dot pop, we don't need to provide any value because pop is actually used to see, you can see the help message over here, removes the last element from an array and returns it. If the array is empty, undefined is returned and array is not modified. So what pop does is whatever the element available at the end of the array will be removed. Similarly, if you mouse over to push, you can see appends new elements to the end of the array and returns the new length of the array. If you try to access the element from index 5, you see undefined is printed because we don't have any element at the given index. It is already removed by pop. So when you want to add a new element at the end of the array, use push. And when you want to remove an element from the end of the array, use pop. Till now we are accessing elements of array one by one, but we may have situation to access all elements in that array. Then we need to depend on something called loops. We will learn about loops in further videos, but I'll write a loop to show you how all the elements from the array can be accessed. For this, I commented out all the code and take the new array. Now marks has 3 values. I want to print all values. We have different loops for each while like that, but now I'll just show you for loop. For let I equals to 0, I less than marks dot length. The length is a property of marks which contains the total number of elements, and I plus plus console dot log marks of I. Try to understand this. We are just starting from index I. You can consider like this, and we are doing some operation till this condition is satisfied by incrementing the value by 1 in each iteration and printing the value of marks at the index I. If you run this, you see 70, 60, 80 are printed in the same order which we saved. This is how we access elements from array using a simple for loop. Sometimes you may have requirement to make your array read-only, or you can say you don't want to change any value of your array. For that, you can declare your array as read-only by providing the keyword read-only. Let us create a new array called colors to demonstrate this. Let colors is the name of the array, and I am going to save strings in that, and the values are red, green, blue. So this is the way of defining a simple array. Just add one more keyword here saying read only. Now your colors array is immutable. You cannot change that. Now if you try to push some value, it is a string anyhow, you don't need to give color also, you already see that error. You are seeing property push does not exist on the type read only string array. Because the string array is read only, it missed the push definition. You cannot change that. Similarly, if you try to use colors.pop, you will see the same error. Property pop does not exist on the type read only string array. So this is how you make read-only arrays, and you cannot change the values in the arrays. And the same thing happens even when you want to replace some value inside the array. For example, in the index 1, we have the value green. If I try to update the value to black, we see some error. Index signature in the type read-only string only permits reading. It is not allowing to update the value. This is how we declare read-only arrays. We will also have two-dimensional arrays which saves arrays of array. Example is matrix. Let matrix number. When we declared a single dimensional array, we used one square bracket pair, and because we are going to declare two-dimensional array, we are using two sets of square brackets equals to, we are going to save arrays inside the array 1, 2, 3 and another array 4, 5, 6 and so on. Any number of arrays you can save here. Like this. So in order to access the elements from this array, you will have two indices. One is row and second is column, and remember the index always starts from 0. So 0th row, 0th column is 1, this element, and this is in 0, 1 position, and this is in 0, 2. You can access this by matrix of 1, 2. It will return the value from first row, which is this, and second index, which is 6. 0, 1 and 2. So 6 will be returned. Whenever you are working with complex applications, consider using multi-dimensional arrays. This is all about arrays. Let us recap. Arrays in TypeScript These are commonly used data structures, and arrays can hold more than one value at a time. We use index to access the values inside an array. We have push and pop methods in order to add new values at the end and remove a value from the end of array. And we have multi-dimensional arrays. We can create immutable arrays using the keyword readonly. We will see some tips or best practices. Always define the types whenever you are declaring arrays. Use read-only whenever you want an immutable array. You can use loops for each map, etc. to work with arrays. We will see this in further videos. Consider multi-dimensional arrays when working with complex data. This is about arrays in TypeScript. In the next video, we'll cover the concept of objects in TypeScript. Don't forget to practice on arrays. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.